Hi guys, and welcome to the very powerful type engine of After Effects. We are now in Animate 1, the composition, and you remember the name of the project, which was Text Edit Format. Until now we have been just animating the text layer and all the characters inside the text layer. That was cool, but there is better. In the text layer here, you have the text and you have the source text. We animated this one. We worked with the path options. And of course, we worked with the transforms over here for the layer. Now there is this small button here, it says Animate. If you click on the small arrow just over here, you notice that you have a bunch of properties that you can apply and you can animate per character, per word, or per line. On top here, you can enable per character 3D. So actually, we'll be working in 3D. And then you have the properties that are the transformation here for position, including hue and opacity. Down here you have the colors, the fill, stroke, and the stroke width. And after that you have the tracking and the line anchor and the spacing. These are properties that come from the character panel, mainly the tracking. And you have character offset, character value, they are funny ones, you will see about them later. And you have the all famous blur here, that's very important. I want to demonstrate to you how to use per character animation or how to use the animate over here. For that I will use a very simple example, which is the fill color. If you select the fill color and then select RGB, notice what happened. First, your characters have turned all into red, and this is the red color. Is the default for the fill color for RGB. I'll click on it and make it yellow so you can see it better. I know red won't look good for you. Within the text layer, now you have an animator 1, which means you can have several animators. And you have range selector 1 under animator 1, which means you can have several range selectors. And you have the property you have selected, which is the fill color. At first glance, you notice that the property has been applied to all your characters in the layer. How did this happen? If you come and scroll down the range selector here, you have start and offset, a concept that we have already seen in the shapes, for trim path for example. The start and end will determine how much or how many character the property fill color has been applied. It's a very easy concept. If you come towards the beginning here and you notice the mouse pointer will change into a black arrow with some kind of double arrows facing each other. If you click and drag, you will notice down there in the timeline, over here, the start value is changing, which means now 17% of the characters inside the layers, they do not have the fill color applied. If I move towards the end, and you notice the value is growing, and now it means the start is covering nothing, meaning 100% of your characters have no fill color applied to them, the property fill color. Let's go towards the end here. If you click and drag, you notice that the value of the end is changing. Now it's telling you how many characters have the fill color property applied to them. If you go to the beginning, you notice the value is going towards 0, and now the end is saying none of them has the fill color property applied. As simple as this. Now to create a simple animation, you can do two things. You can start from the initial state, from white, and you can turn them into the fill color yellow. Or you can start from the fill color yellow and turn them back into the initial state, which is the white. Let's go, for example, from the fill color, the one that has applied, to the initial state. I, for example, keyframe the end, okay? And take it after 20 frames, take it to 0%. Now we have the fill color property being removed from your text layers or from your character. You notice using the end. Cool. That's one way to do it. I can also use the start and take the start to 100%. Then I go to 20 frames and take it back to 0%. Now you start from the initial state of the color of the text layer to applying the fill color to all your characters. Actually, this is the concept. You just play around with start and end, and you apply or remove the property that you have selected. Case here, fill color. Now the offset is pretty cool. Let's say I'll take this one at 50%, that's the start. So only 50% is covered, and the end I'll put it at 25%, sorry. Okay? If you subtract the start from the end, you will have 25%. So the offset will work on this 25%. The colors are swiping left and right. You can create an animation like this and do quite some nice animation with the fill color. So actually, this is the concept of the animator and how start and end and offset will operate. In the next lecture, we're going to develop and try to apply more of the properties that you have here and combine them and see exactly how can you do a marvelous animation. See you then.